Why you got red cheeks and hair?
Welcome back to my channel. Happy Valentine's Day. If you couldn't notice my Valentine's little outfit, if you're new here, my name's Angel Baby Kyra. Please go follow me on TikTok. I got my account recently banned because of a larger creator didn't like what I had to say. You can watch the video on that too. That explains more. And it turned into a negative situation to a positive situation. And if you want to join my little community, then welcome. You are now an angel. So today I wanted to talk about the trends of, or I guess the trend of trinkets on bags in, blind boxes and stuff like that, and looking into some of these trinkets and some of these little characters because of another video that I made on Melanie Martinez and some of the questionable artistic choices, I will put lightly, that she chose for her Crybaby album. So people were saying, what about Sonny Angels? What about Sonny Angels? Like, about Kewpie babies? Like, also sorry if my camera is not focusing. This camera is like super old, so it doesn't focus the best. So I know a lot of people saying you're out of focus. Well, I'm trying my best to work with what I have. Okay. I want to first talk about the rise of trinkets and also bag charms, because I think those two kind of go together, and also like blind boxes. So we're gonna get to all of those. So first of all, let's talk about kind of the brief history of bag charms and charms on bags. Started showing up in the fashion world, kind of, little niches in the 80s and the 90s. Labels like Louis Vuitton and Chanel were producing these kinds of accessories, like little charms, be like a little wallet thing that says like Chanel on it. These were some of the accessories that they started doing to put on your bag to make it a little extra cute, to make it a little bit more unique. You can get different accessories to accessorize the bag that you got, right? Then it became really popular to personalize such bags that were considered the bag of the time. For example, in this article it says, with the Fendi baguette and its myriad interpretations, denim, mink, sequin, etc., and some fashion-forward fashionistas took personalization a step further, adding their bags with keychains and small charms as decorative accents. However, the trend really took speed in the early 2000s when Louis Vuitton introduced its trunks and travel-inspired charms with miniature trunks, padlocks, and luggage tags, referencing LV's storied history and luxury travel. The monogram flower motif and the pastels bag charm were also huge hits. The mega fad of Juicy Couture's ultra cute velvet totes with a collection of trinkets and charms. So it's very reminiscent of the Y2K trends, obviously, with like Von Dutch and Juicy and things of like that nature, like Mick Bling. It's Mick Bling for a reason because, you got a lot of stuff on you, you're accessorizing a lot. In the mid 2000s, Prada did this teddy bear charms kind of thing with little jackets, pearls, mini handbags. First time we see something turn into like more collectible, not a lot of people enjoyed it, the average person and celebrities. By the late 2010s, Prada would introduce its robot charms, which was inspired by industrial futuristic to kind of showcase Prada going to like the more tech fashion kind of aesthetic. They featured metal, leather, and enamel parts. Industrial fashion, which is kind of what we see sometimes with Balenciaga and Rick Owens, is like industrial meets future, but still like kind of primitive aesthetic. So it's a bunch of things into one thing. Like you can't tell if this is like industrial primitive or if it's futuristic and cold and gray and stuff like that, with like tech, like paneling or technical usage of technical fabric like Gore-Tex or something like that. That's more used for it's more functional than it is aesthetic usually, but in these cases it's used as an aesthetic, but also it's obviously functional. In this article it says brands like Balenciaga and Off-White also kind of went into this realm, and Prada, it says that shifted the focus customizing luxury bags. The customization of luxury bags, now you can swap out straps, you can put on patches, obviously keychains, are now seen in the high fashion realm, is now seen in the high fashion community. And this also fueled like the resale market, and also people just wanting like certain charms on a bag or whatever, and made it like, more unique. Charms became kind of a status symbol because I feel like they were quite pricey. If I'm remembering the prices right that I looked at, they were quite pricey. So having like a $35 bag charm plus your like really expensive bag, you know, you have the money to be able to buy those things. Of course, we have seen the rise of it again in the past, I would say 3 years, because people have been more interested in trinkets and also the nostalgia of Y2K, of when a lot of us were young kids or teenagers, or even millennials, just like liking the nostalgia of being in the 2000s, you know, being a teenager in the 2000s. So I think that because obviously our aesthetic have obviously derived literally from Y2K and McBling or Y2K whatever, obviously it's very trendy. So I feel like a lot of the Pinterest stuff that we see is a lot of these aesthetics into one, which is why a lot of people on TikTok tend to have these kinds of bag charms, you know, make whole TikTok videos about a bag charm tour or where they got their bag charms from. And I think this is a kind of segue into the trinkets that we have and that are really popular right now. But also, I do want to say and mention this, I don't know if this is kind of off topic, but there's this one person on TikTok, this isn't to bash them in any way, but I think this like really, we're commodifying and we're trying to capitalize on the fact that people just want something superficial. And what I mean by this is that this girl has handbags, okay, just like these normal little handbags, puts pins on them, sells it for I believe $95 on TikTok Shop. Okay, get your bag, get your coin, I guess, and like you obviously don't have to buy this, but I think this just shows how people will capitalize off of things that are supposed to be unique and individual. And yes, she makes the pins or the buttons or whatever, but like $95 for a fast fashion handbag, to my knowledge, $95. I understand that maybe if you're not a creative person, this might be a good option for you if you just don't know how to find pins or where to find pins, put pins together, what looks good, whatever. But I feel like this is geared towards Gen Z, and I feel like Gen Z is just very creative. I think this is kind of a superficial version of like the original bag charm trend in 2000s.
I have a bone to pick with how bag charms and trinkets as like a trend have become so heavily commodified. And I feel like the best comparison that I can make is that time that Ashley Tisdale, before her Architectural Digest interview, made her husband go buy 400 books to fill the previously empty shelves of her library. And the reason that I'm making that comparison is that bag charms, like your home library, are kind of this outward reflection of your interests and your passions carefully curated over time. And the key phrase there is over time. The use of charms in fashion as, you know, social signifiers or protection has been around for centuries, but I think what most fashion insiders would agree is that this trend resurgence is mostly attributed to Jane Birkin, because Jane was obviously frequently seen with this very well-worn in, well-loved Birkin bag that was dripping in jewelry and charms and scarves and everything that just made it so personal to her. But what happens when something becomes overexposed and very heavily marketed, and we start spotting these trends all over the runway? We kind of collectively get this sense of urgency and this need to jump on board right now. Instead of repurposing the materials you have at home or slowly collecting items over time, you can just buy them all in one place, all at one time for the low price of $38. You know, it doesn't require thought or careful curation. You can have it right now. So I think this kind of creates this weird dilemma between brands and consumers right now. Because at the root of this trinket obsession is, you know, this desire to make style more personal, but brands are still like, well, shit, you know, I gotta make money. How can I sell you a prepackaged personality? Okay, I'm done.
Putting pins on is kind of like, I guess, like more like a punk thing too. It's like just having like these DIY pins that you got from this band that you were listening to in the garage. Like, I think that pins are also part of this kind of trinket thing, but I feel like keychains are mostly what we're seeing right now. Of course, we have the infamous Sonny Angel and we have the Kewpie baby. So personally, I have always been a fan of the Kewpie baby way before everyone else and before it was popular. I'm literally serious. Like, I have been wearing this baby on my neck for quite a while. People from my last video, like I said, from the Melanie Martinez videos, say that, oh, well, Kewpie babies are inappropriate because they are not wearing clothes. And if you're going to talk about Melanie Martinez, talk about this. So here's me talking about it. So the reason why a Kewpie doll was invented was to promote women's suffrage. To promote women's suffrage. It was created by Rose O'Neil in 1909 as a comic strip. This character is inspired by Cupid, which Cupid is a cherub, which means Cupid is an angel, and the Roman god of love. This was the first mass-produced toy while also promoting a very, very good message. O'Neil portrayed the suffragettes, the people who were fighting for women's rights, as Kewpies in cartoons and postcards. So this was like kind of an American thing, even though it is seen in Japanese mayonnaise, which is my favorite. I love Kewpie mayonnaise. And I believe they also make like different sauces, but that's besides the point. This was a symbol of women's rights, a women's rights movement. That is the history of this. The reason why Kewpie is not wearing clothes is because it was supposed to symbolize a purity, pure image, and obviously associated with the suffragette movement. They were first made with like porcelain. Other dolls later on would be used made out of celluloid. Eventually, the Kewpie Corporation, they used the Kewpie doll logo to market both the Kewpie doll and the Kewpie mayonnaise, like I was mentioning before. The first Kewpie dolls were imported to Germany in 1913 to 1914. This is important because of the mass difference of the meaning of this particular trinket blind box thing versus this particular blind box trinket thing, okay? People are saying that Sonny Angels are a little bit weird, which I personally never saw anything weird about it, but people are asking me to talk about it, so I'm talking about it. So I personally, like I said, prefer Kewpie over Sonny Angels. Don't come at me. Basically, if you go on Sonny Angels' website, this is what they describe Sonny Angel as: the little boy angel who will make you smile. Sonny Angel is a cute and angelic little boy who wears all sorts of different headgear. Although he can't talk, he will always be looking out for you. You can place him on your desk at work, at home on your shelves, anywhere you want to see his cute smile. So this is my husband's got like a lizard one or something like that. People are saying, okay, well, it's weird that people are collecting Sonny Angels. So two things. Sonny Angels are anatomically correct. If you don't know what that means or what I'm referring to, you're probably too young to understand what I'm talking about, and you should probably click off the video. Kewpie baby is not anatomically correct, besides its little booty. Kewpie is an angel, a cherub, whatever you want to call him. Sonny Angel was inspired by Kewpie baby. It says that the design goals and the purpose of Sonny Angels is to be companions for women and to bring happiness. These dolls were created by Toru Soya, and they wanted to create a character that would evoke innocence and wholesomeness. It was designed to be a companion to make people feel less lonely, particularly women. It was directed for women. It was inspired by Kewpie doll, and they are sold in blind boxes and also are keychains. There's a lot of fake ones out there. There's a lot of t-shirts, bags. There's bags to show your Sonny Angels. So these are very popular things. There's Sonny Angel meetups. There's a whole page dedicated to Sonny Angels. There's limited collections, limited editions. The collections and the seriousness of these collectors are a mass amount. It is a cherub, and it does have angel wings. It has headgear, so it's always wearing a little hat. There's usually 12 of these guys in a series, so there's different characters in each series. There's 12. So it could be animals, food, flowers. This launched in 2004 and is sold in 33 countries. The reason why people were telling me to talk about Sonny Angels and Kewpie babies is because they're pretty much asking, is this not CSAM? Can it not be, isn't it like, couldn't it be used as CSAM or used with more malicious intent than what it's obviously intended design goals were to do? And like, why are we normalizing a little boy with anatomically correct parts, like parading him around, okay? And honestly, I cannot tell you the answer. We don't really view things like that in general as a society. We don't really, that's not most of our first, any healthy-minded person, that is not our first thought. Do the anatomically correct parts need to be there? No, they don't. What would taking away the anatomically correct parts take away from Sonny Angel? What could it possibly take from Sonny Angel? So I know people can be like, you're reaching. I could possibly be reaching, be doing backflips. However, I do see the valid criticism of people criticizing Sonny Angel. Kewpie baby, I don't see it. I think that is a reach. Sonny Angels are a little inappropriate, at the very least. Can possibly be used as certain material for certain people that should not be in hands of Sonny Angels, okay? But yet we're here, and there's blind boxes, there's everything, okay? Now, it's probably not really literal and saying, this is my companion, you know, this is my friend. But I think that just being said, like, oh, it's supposed to be a companion on a like Sonny Angel website, I think that's kind of a gray area, and I really don't have anything further to say about that. So there's that. Shifting from that topic to the next one about, you know, these blind boxes, all these new characters coming out. I can't keep up. There's like Blith dolls, or Blythe dolls, however you say it, were really trending for a while. There was a Blith doll trend on TikTok that was like, find your Blith doll. People creating customized Blith dolls. And we have, I think it's called Macaroon. I actually really like this. It's like a little vinyl guy, but it's like $40. Blind boxes are insane. $20, $25. Then you have the Sanrio. I have a bunch of them on my shelf because my husband loves it. Sanrio blind boxes, $50, $60. Sanrio keychains. Official licensed Sanrio blind boxes are insane. They can go for so much. Like, what if you get the same character? The reason why I think we are so gravitated toward these blind boxes and getting these little trinkets, getting all these little figurines, all these little dolls that sit on our shelf or in our Sonny Angel bag that shows all our Sonny Angels on our bags, full of charms just clinking and trinketing and all that stuff, is because, one, we want to seem like we have a unique personality, we have a little quirkiness in us, and it's fine. That's completely fine. But I also think it is because a lot of people are searching for an escape, especially with the state of our world at the moment, where a lot of things seem like it's very uncertain, a lot of misinfo around the internet causing fear-mongering, causing whatever. We have, you know, eggs are super expensive now, can't afford eggs. Our president, Elon Musk, doing what Elon Musk does, and we want something to treat ourselves and remind us that we can escape for a little bit. It also goes into consumerism. I personally feel like that people are constantly buying these blind boxes, and if you have the means to do it, do it. But spending $40 on a figurine doll, like every time there's a new drop, trying to collect them all, is part of the consumerism mindset that, oh, we need to have this, you know, to fulfill. We think that if we buy the next Sonny Angel drop, that we're gonna be popular, that everyone's gonna love us because we got the new Sonny Angel drop and it's limited and only certain people can get it. If you wait in line for whatever, wait on website, whatever. Consumerism mindset, like we always need more, always need something to feel excited, hence the blind boxes. We don't know what we're gonna get in a blind box. We need to feel excited. We need to feel like something other than the normal mundane feelings that we feel every day. Hence why I think that's why they made Sonny Angels, to help aid with that. However, like everything else on the internet, it gets to the point where it's consumerism. When is it actually individuality, and when is it actually just buying a personality? And I also feel like the trinkets on bags is a sign of wealth and status still. I don't think that has changed at all since the Y2K. It doesn't even have to be like a designer bag. You literally can have any bag that you find that you already have, but you're probably gonna buy one to just get a bag just for your trinkets. I think it is a sign, because when I see people with these macaroons, keychains, these bunch of things, I'm thinking, wow, that's a lot of money to be spent to decorate your bag, okay? And it's not even about the bag anymore. It's not about the bag anymore. It's about these guys. It's about the trinkets. It's about how much do you have in your collection? How heavy can you make your bag? How loud can you make your bag? Can I hear you coming from a mile away? Because all of your trinkets are trinketing. This trend of trinkets will be replaced eventually with something else. I think that it might be charms for shoes. I know that's a thing with Crocs, but I feel like charms with shoes, something on those lines of like shoelaces or something like that, could be a near future future trend. Again, I don't inherently believe that this is a bad trend. I don't inherently think charms or trinkets or keychains are necessarily a bad thing. I do think that it becomes a kind of overconsumption thing in the same lane as fast fashion overconsumption, because it's being so mass produced. We see it everywhere. In an Urban Outfitters, so many little trinkets, so many little keychains. We got them on Chi-Chi's, you know, like, but you are collecting them to collect them, and you know, you're a good collector, and you know, you genuinely like to collect them. I think that's perfectly fine. Everyone has their hobbies, everyone has their things, but I fear for the people that do like the things like that Pinterest bag with the pins on it. I do fear that it could also be in that direction too, which I personally don't find amusing, or I don't really find cute, because it just seems like it's manufactured. Same thing with like punk bags with graffiti writing made by Dawskill or whatever mass produced brand that's supposed to be like punk or whatever. I think that it does and can bring individuality to your bag, and it makes your life fun, and it's very lighthearted. I think that it is important to understand kind of the background of these trinkets and kind of like what they symbolize and stuff like that. You know, I want to see more attention to precious moments, because I think it's so cute. It reminds me of my grandmother. She always loved precious moments, and it's a very fond memory. So I think that these trinkets also create very fond memories for people, and you know, bring people together. I personally, as a mother now, find it very uncomfortable that this boy is anatomically correct, especially me having a son myself. I personally am not going to be buying any more Sonny Angels. I'd rather buy my Kewpie babies or some other new character that I like. Obviously, use your discretion. I'm not telling you not to buy Sonny Angels. I'm not telling you they're evil or anything like that, but just kind of questioning the intentions behind this and the kind of consumer that does like Sonny Angels. I'm not saying that if you have Sonny Angels that you're this terrible evil person and you're doing it in a malicious way. I'm saying particular people, you know. I'm not saying the mass majority of people that have Sonny Angels are this terrible, evil, crazy person. I'm saying a certain amount. I don't think this is harming in children. I think it just can get in the wrong hands like anything else. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. This was not scripted, so sorry if I'm rambling and not talking in linear fashion. I also do think that hand sanitizer accessorizing needs to come back, because we are getting sick way too often. I always carry my little touch hand thing, but I think a little throwback to Bath and Body Works, but the original packaging, not the little round one. I think that would be cute, and I think Bath and Body Works should do that. I bring a little Y2K comeback, you know, the sweet pea one. I think that would be good. But let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Says he's had enough, but I'm like, why you gotta make it